Where are we headed from here, guys? We're at Fort Clark Springs, Texas on a Sunday morning about 9 a.m. Cloudy as you can see. Temperature probably 70, 72 maybe. Little wind, not much, blowing through the mesquites. I've been sitting here listening to it for about 20 minutes. Why? Well, it's just a nice, peaceful way to get along in life, I guess. But anyway, me and the Raven are out for a drive. That Raven is my golf cart. The reason it's called the Raven is because it's black. But isn't that a neat little golf cart just to cruise around in? I put those little shades on it because this is about a 90% sunblock, I think, and it works pretty dadgum good. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to go cruising now in the cart for a while. And where do we go from here? That's a damn good question. You know what I mean? First of all, you got to know where you are. And then the next thing, where you think you want to go. Well, at my age, 80 years old, and not getting any younger, but now see, when you come to, you better know these trails here at Fort Clark when you come to this intersection, because you can sure get screwed up. Because if you go to the right there, it'll turn right again and it goes down a really steep hill. And so you better know that. And then it goes through the jungle, basically. Then this one, this little trail here, you follow it around. Now there's some options here. If you go to the left and then make another left, it'll take you right back to the main part of the fort. If you go to the right and then follow it around, you can go to the Red Bridge. Of course, we've been on this trail. They all look the same to me. No, well, I take that back. Some of them are narrower. This one is kind of a road for the cars and stuff. But I have never seen a car on this road, I don't think. But you know, they get out here with equipment and keep it cleared. So anyway, but yeah, where are we headed from here? Do I have a plan for the future? Well, step one is to keep waking up every morning. And then step two is keep waking up every morning. And as far as anything else, if I decide to do something, I will. I do have a little trip planned to go to Llano, Texas for a few weeks. Well, I'm going to pay for a month. It's $240 a week. So if I stay 2 weeks, I'm even money, you know. If I stay 3 weeks, I'm ahead of the game. And if I stay a month, you know, I'm all right. But the reason I'm doing it is I've got three medical things I can take care of while I'm down there, even though I don't have any medical issues at all right now. I can go to the VA. I want to get a physical. I haven't had a physical in 25 years. And I thought, well, I'd go check it out. And then that's at the VA in Kerrville, Texas. This sign here says no admittance, hunt in progress. Well, you know, see, well, let me finish up with Kerrville. And then I can do the eye appointment in Marble Falls and then dermatology in Marble Falls, Texas, which is about 30 miles from Llano, and get all that done. But anyway, it says hunt in progress. See, they can hunt the axis deer, the ones with the spots, because they're not native to Texas. So since they're not native to Texas, there is no season on those deer, and they have hunts all year long. Not many people show up. It's kind of a macho thing. I mean, they got feeders out and all kind of crap. But anyway, enough said about that. But see, the thing about a hunt out here, you know, if they're using rifles, sometimes they have archery, you know, let guys with bows and arrows go out hunting, and sometimes it's rifles. But you know, a bullet and a rifle and an arrow, they don't necessarily stop at 50 yards. You know what I mean? You know, an arrow can go 300 yards and still penetrate your skin. And so if they fire out there and miss, that's when I turn this way. I want to get out of the hunt, you know, so to speak. I don't want to be in the hunt. And a rifle, the bullet doesn't just go 100 yards and just fall straight down on the ground. If it hits a limb, it can ricochet and go at a right angle, or you know what I mean. And so anyway, best thing is if they're going to have a hunt, they can have a hunt, and I'm going to hunt my way right out of here. But this is still part of the fort. That dinging you hear is these two cups rattling together. One of them has my iced tea in it, my green tea. But anyway, we're just cruising. I can't, is this thing, it looks like it's pretty clear. I hope it is. I get tired of that damn fuzzing up crap. But yeah, we're just on the trail cruising around. But as far as the future for me, just keep doing what I'm doing, guys. This stuff like this, because I'm not going to climb a mountain. I'm not going to go ride a bicycle from Alaska to Mexico. I'm not going to do anything exotic. And the only way to get views is you got to do something different. You got to do something, that's entertaining, And most of my videos aren't really entertaining. I mean, they're just what they are, and I don't really care, Oh, there's a big old rock there. Sounds like a cowbell, doesn't it? Here I come and get your chow, But the crazy thing about it, deer hunters, they want to be real quiet and all that stuff. Do you realize I could ride around with those two things banging together and I'll see more deer than the deer hunters will? Why? Because deer are curious. They're just like goats, They'll come see what that is. In fact, I knew a guy that used to go deer hunting. I went deer hunting with him down along, I don't know, it was near Victoria. They had a deer lease, Victoria, Texas. They weren't very big deer, but he took a little portable radio with him. Yeah, and he'd play the radio. Shit, the deer don't know. And besides that, they had feeders, that, they put out deer corn, all year basically, and then you come there and the deer come to eat and you kill them. Now that's a hell of a hunt, We've been down this trail before, but enough said. They're not, the noise ain't the thing. Now the one thing that'll get them, that'll make them run, is movement, a sudden move. Now if you're walking, you can walk within 50 yards of them or less, but if you make sudden movements, then they're gone. I'm about tired of that crap. I mean, shit, enough for the dinner bell action. I got little compartments here, see. I'll cram it in here. And then it can ring in there, probably. But anyway, here we go. Ding, 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 and Rusty's out here hunting. I don't know what they charge for a hunt, but anyway, back to where we are, about just living and me cruising around and stuff. Yeah, the future for the channel it's the same as it's always been. If I go somewhere, y'all go along with me, and if I don't go anywhere, well, we sit at home, and ride around on the fort. It's a beautiful day, man, and it's so quiet. Where I was parked. And you can go to the right here, and that takes you down to the, there's a sewer plant down there or something. I don't really care to go there. But if you're out here during the week, now there are some trucks that come down this road that have no manners at all. I mean, none. If they see you in a golf cart, they don't slow down a bit. And when they pass, they'll be look like a dust storm behind them. But here, all this stuff here, people, I don't know, I think the fort dumps this stuff out here. All that crap. But be that as may, it's all along this road. And so I'm sure it's the people from the fort, whenever they clear out an old building or something. Isn't that pretty to have that right in the way right there? Yeah, off to the right here, not far from where we are right now, is I think they call it a minimum detention facility, a prison, and it's for guys that are waiting to be transferred to their permanent jail or whatever. And there's federal and state here prisoners. So you can see the top of the building over there, maybe. It's got a whole roof full of vents. I don't know what that is. I guess because they have no windows that can open, they have to just. Let me see if we can get a better look at it up here. But there's a signs along that highway. That's 131 that goes to Eagle Pass, and it says don't pick up hitchhikers. Not that I would anyway, but maybe we can get a little better look at it here. Yeah, we can. Let me get out here and I'll show you. We ain't got nothing else to do. Y'all busy? Yeah, this is the road here. And since this is Sunday, I don't think I have to worry about any trucks coming by. But yeah, this is the prison right over here. See it? You see, but look at all the vents on the roof, if you can see them. Let me zoom a little bit. Well, shit. What thing? There we go. Yeah, you see all those vents on the roof? And that whole roof is covered with them. And they employ a lot of people, man. Yeah. And I call it the zoo because every now and then they got an outdoor recreation area. And whenever they're out there, it sounds like a zoo, you know. What's a zoo sound like? You know what it sounds like. You know, animals making all kinds of different noises. But yeah, that's Highway 131 just right there, you know. And it goes from Brackettville to Eagle Pass. And that's where they have bailouts every now and then. Well, they used to. They don't anymore. There ain't been anybody crossing the river and since Trump took office. I mean, he shut that down totally. You know, they haven't had any problems here and since he took office for sure. But they used to have bailouts. You know, that's what they call them. You know, if the Border Patrol got behind a van load of illegals headed somewhere, then the van would pull off the road and everybody would just bail out and run for their lives. Then they'd have them here and they'd run out in this brush here. But I promise you that brush out there, now it's not too thick here, but there's places that it's so thick that I don't know how they ever got through it anyway. This is good video, right? This is one of those viral videos or virals. But you see that? They got this stuff stacked up everywhere, man. Concrete, big old chunks of concrete, man. And there's old Thorny. That's his family right there. Plenty of friends down here. Yeah, that's what I mean. Out there in that brush, everything's got thorns and crap. I don't know how if they bail out. Well, they just running for their lives. I feel sorry for them in some ways. You know, but you know, you think of the poverty they live in some of those areas, and it's just a damn shame, man. But be that as it may, where am I going from here? Well, I'm going to go back to my house for one thing. And I'm trying to keep that cup from turning over, because if I lost all my tea and stuff, I'd be very, very upset. You know what I mean? I mean, it leans way over sometimes. But there's pavement right up ahead here, about 100 yards. And no, I'm not going to take a chance. I'm going to hold it. Now, how you going to steer? Well, you can't steer. Shit. The plan was so good. It ain't working very good, though. Well, poop. I just made it worse, that's all. So here we go, guys. Rusty and his videography lessons. What not to do in a video. Look at this thing. I'm telling you, it's just borderline turning over. I got one hand here on the wheel, one hand holding the phone, and this thing's doing some kind of dance, I guess. But be that as it may, we're going to make it up here to this pavement, and then I'll continue the video. I might. Well, I ain't got a damn thing to do, and if you're watching this long, you ain't either. Is that bird? The only bird I really enjoy is a big-breasted bed thrasher. See, that's Highway 131 right there. And if you live over here, like in that unit, unit 36, where I lived before on Redbud, you could hear that highway. Not bad, but you could. And I'll tell you something else. Whenever you come out of the RV park here, if you're using Google Maps, of course, they always try to take the shortest route or route, whatever. And what they'll do, when you come out of the RV park, they'll tell you to turn right. Well, if you turn right, you come to right here. Okay, and that gate is locked all the time. But the map shows you that you can just go right through there to Highway 131 and then go left or right and you're good to go. Hardy har har. You can't get through the gate. And if you call the gate guard, if you have that number, you can get a hold of them, they'll tell you they'll send somebody right out. But that could be Monday. That could be another day. They're not worried about you. But anyway, yeah, I used to live right down that street there. And then I had a place over here. And anyway, so where am I going from here? I'll tell you guys, like I said earlier in the video, I'm just going to take it one day at a time. Every day I wake up, I'll try to come up with something. And if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I tell you, some of the videos I like or enjoy are the guys that do videos with no sound. They don't even talk. Like Watched Walker, the guy in England or London, wherever he is, London, England, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't talk. He just walks, okay? And there's several people that do that. They just, it's all visual, and I kind of find that, I enjoy that. Why don't I shut up? Well, because I do me, and they do them. Hell, I want to talk to somebody, shit, Well, they live in big cities, and there's people around where they can talk to, and I ain't got nobody. I ain't got. See, I learned that in English in the 3rd grade. I had good teachers. I sure did. This guy on a bicycle riding right down the middle of the highway. Damn. Genius, lady. Way to go. Don't move over, whatever you do. You got him, lady. This lady here is happy. Well, she was turning anyway. No, she wasn't. Yeah, she is. Anyway, we're good. See that guy in that golf cart down there? Or lady. But anyway, be that as it may, from Fort Clark Springs on a Sunday morning, coming down, I think it's October the 5th, 2025, probably, I don't know, 9:30-ish. Yeah, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, and where do we go from here? We just go one day at a time, man. One day at a time. And I hope you can watch my videos, and it will lower your blood pressure. In fact, if you in a recliner or laying on a couch, you probably go to sleep. But I don't care. Just enjoy your life your way and chill out. Adios, amigos. Thumbs up, carpe diem. Adios. Bye bye. Buy anything you want. That's the RV part right there. Not bad. I think it's $450 a month now. And then it goes up to 500 and something. But anyway, enough said, in the season, whenever that is. But anyway, stand guard at the door of your mind, drink plenty of water, use the Amazon link if you think about it. It's in the description of my video. It doesn't cost you a penny. I'm slowing down so this guy in this truck will pass. Anyway, enjoy your life. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.